Welcome to Tabletop Arcanum. I'm Justin, and this is another unboxing. Today, Tapestry. The Plans and Ploys expansion just showed up at my doorstep earlier this week, so here we are. Let's take a look at what's inside this expansion for Tapestry. It's a tinier box than I actually anticipated. This is close to like the box size for Europa's expansion, and not really, not necessarily like Between Two Cities or Charterstone. Not Charterstone's expansion. Charterstone doesn't have expansion. But the expansion for Wingspan, which was more rectangular. The Scythe expansions were very rectangular. So, small box. This is like a tiny box compared to the original. Let's grab my original. So, normal size box. And the expansion. So I'm really actually hoping to see what can fit inside Tapestry proper. But with the fact that we're going to be adding a couple new landmarks, we may not be able to pull that off. So, let me put that over there. Nice heavy linen finish rulebook. Automa and Shadow Empire rules, which are a little bit thicker. This is actually 8 pages versus the actual expansion rules, which are, that's it, 4. Including the entire civilization adjustments. Now the civilization adjustments are over time. It is something that Tapestry started out with early on, is making some tweaks and kind of like errata. You can use them if you want, but definitely recommended because it does take some of the civs that were underperforming and boost them, and take some of the overperforming ones and nerf them a little bit. Stonemaier actually has a website that you can go and track all of that. You can already see on here the replacement tiles. Well, a couple new space tiles, but one is actually a reprint and replacement. This is because it has the mark on there from the first printing of the game. If you already have a tile that looks like that, you can ignore that. If you don't have a tile that looks like that, dump the other one. I'm going to have to replace mine because I did end up with the first printing of that. And then these are tokens for the achievement tracks. So even on here, it even talks about it. So this is, you can optionally place these tokens on the advancement tracks during setup to remove them from the corresponding landmarks game below to show that those landmarks are no longer available. Right, because on the advancement tracks, to figure out who has what, because it's only the first person to get to those spots on the advancement track. So a nice visual update here. We have one sack. It's not really burlap, it's nice, kind of see-through. Yeah, you can actually kind of see my hand through it, but got a sack. Which of course is not included in the components, so I don't know what the intended purpose this would be. Maybe space tiles? So maybe space tiles, that would be my biggest guess on this. Let's take a look here at the rest of this. So, nice, it contains everything, so probably not going to be able to combine them, but we got a slew of new asymmetric civilization mats. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them. New landmarks. 7 unique. 5 are landmark cards. 1 new tapestry card. 1 for a new space tile. And then the tapestry cards themselves. And landmark cards in here too. Here's a little rippy thing. Difficult to open stuff. Alright, why don't we take a look at some of these. So some of these are actually looking like more than just tapestry cards. These look like they are scenarios tied to the Shadow Empire. So double-sided player aid and rulebook. Yeah. So those are nice. And then we have some new landmark buildings and reference cards for those, so that couple different options there. It looks like after selecting the first player at the end of the regular setup, the player who is last will draw one of these. We'll draw these equal to number of players, selects one, and then we'll place them in their player area, and then go counterclockwise, so last player, then second to last. So kind of snake drafting in these. And these landmarks allow you to gain one of these cities if you complete the task that's on there. And then I also definitely appreciate the fact that we get a little bit of what that footprint is going to look like for your layout. That's always good. All right, 15 new tapestry cards. In the rulebook, 9 are self-explanatory. Others entertain the masses, or the first tapestry with paired to a specific landmark. The 5 remaining are sneaky, trap-like cards that can be played. So, core cards in Tapestry, there wasn't a lot of, there was a couple sneaky ones, but there wasn't a lot of variety in those sneaky ones. So, I can see why adding some of those is going to be nice. Art is consistent throughout. So we always don't have to worry about that. The backs, everything looks like it will just literally integrate together. Oh, here's Entertain the Masses, so that's the one tied to an actual landmark. Being the stadium landmark, placed in your capital city. And here's some of that sneaky stuff. So, Stolen Plans. So if someone conquers your territory, you're able to trigger those. And there's 5 different one of those, so definitely. All right. So we got a couple of fun stuff going on with that, and then let's take a look here. We're going to have to do something about that. Pull this back a little bit. So these are the new civilizations, right? So we have spies. Let me get this refocused. So spies have a lot of different things that they can trigger. can't say I necessarily previewed a lot of these myself, so. Next, the advisors. Unless with unsolicited advice to other civilizations, they start with 3 tapestry cards. How about that? That's actually really cool. Don't mind, always feel like I never have enough of those. Treasure hunters. They look for riches wherever they go and seek to protect their valuables from other civilizations. And start with 4 player tokens and gain 2 territory tiles. It looks like different resources will give them different bonuses on the different terrain types. Infiltrators. So they're going to be more about territory grabbing there. And recyclers. I'm really digging the recycler art. Might be one of my favorite arts on here. Flipping through the rest? Yeah, probably. And so they have, they're going to be playing with technology a lot there. Tinkerers are up next. Masters of time and technology. If you start the game on Tinkerers, you and your opponent, each component gains a tech card from the deck from the bottom row. They may not upgrade the cards during the first income turn, and then it looks like they're going to play with tech as well. So this one I think might be excited to play. Aliens. So aliens here are a civ that actually messes around with that space tiles, which, while a neat concept, never really got too heavy in the game. If you built towards the space tiles, they could be powerful, but like you had to focus on those, I felt. Utilitarians. Lots of flexibility here, and they get, looks like, bonuses depending on which landmarks they get. Islanders. So Islanders are mystified by a massive island on the horizon, and they start with 4 territory tiles in your supply, and they kind of do some fun stuff here. And lastly, Riverfolk. So for impassable plots in your capital city, you're going to get some victory points for it. And impassable plots, looks like you get even more bonuses at the end there. So, got some fun civilizations to mix in. This should give the game a lot of life and variety. The plots, well, here are the plans, and the landmark plans, and the ploys would be a little bit more like those sneaky treachery cards. So, that is, I'll take a look at Plans and Ploys Tapestry. Hope you enjoyed this, and leave a comment below if there's a particular civilization that you're excited to try out. And as always, thanks for watching Tabletop Arcana.